Hi, I'm Belle and welcome back to How to IT. In today's video, we're going to dive just a little bit deeper into Davinci Resolve so you can give your videos that little bit extra.
So these features that I'm going to be talking about today need a basic level of understanding of the editing process and how DaVinci works. So if you haven't watched the beginner's tutorial, please do that now and then come back to this one. It'll make much more sense. So this video is just adding a little bit extra to what you already know. In the first tutorial, we touched on a little bit about the media page and, what all these things are, the windows and everything, and the layout and whatever. But the media page can be a really powerful tool. It's kind of weird. You either utilize it a lot or you just don't. So and either or is, it's your preference if you use it or if you don't. I'm just going to drag and drop some footage into our media pool. So also again, if DaVinci ever says change project frame rate, please do, because you really want to edit in the same frame rate as what your images were taken in. It just makes for a more fluid editing experience and a better final product. So if you're working with a lot of clips and you might be working with a couple people, it's really helpful if you use the media page. So what I like doing here is actually sorting out all my clips. So each of these clips are going to be in a sequence on our timeline eventually, in an order. So what I like to do is right-click on a clip, go to Clip Attributes, and under the name tag, I like to put what the clip is about and then what sequence it's going to be in. And then I press OK. So now that's jumped down here, and I'm also going to go one step further to help me sort out all my clips. If you could right click on that clip again, and then you can go clip color. So all these ruin clips are going to be green. So I've got another one here, so I'm just going to do the same thing. So we're going to right click, clip attributes, under the name. I'm going to call it ruins. And this is going to be number 2. Clip color, I'm going to change to green. Now I'm just going to do that same process again for all these clips. And then we're going to go into the edit page. Hello, so editing Belle here. Before we go to the edit page, I just realized that I forgot to tell you something about the media page. So another cool feature and another way to sort out your clips as well is to actually put them in what DaVinci calls bins, or what I call groups, or like to put them into like a folder type thing, within Davinci itself. So if you highlight, I'm just going to highlight all these runes clips. And then if we go to the top right where there's this down arrow, we're going to click on that, and then we're going to go all groups. So this lets us do a couple things quite easily for multiple clips. So we could set our clip color here, which is green. We can also write descriptions and comments about these clips as well, but we can also enter a key word. So these keywords kind of act like tags, and it tags this video and then groups them together. So for my keyword, I'm going to write runes, and then you just press enter. And now we've got the keywords ticked. Now we just need to press save. And now if we come down to the very bottom left, we have smart bins. So this is how all our data is sorted. So we can sort via the keywords. So if we press the keywords, then we've got runes here. So if we go back to our master, we can do this for all the soccer clips as well. So I'm going to click on this one and hold Control on my keyboard, and then I can select multiple. And then we can write soccer as this keyword and press enter. Make sure you save, otherwise it won't do anything. All right, so we've saved it. Now we've got runes and soccer. So later when I show you how to sort things in the edit page, you can also sort them with your keywords as well. Okay, that's it for me. Continue with the video. Okay, so that's all done. Now we're going to go into the cut page. Now, I didn't really talk about the cut page because you don't really need it when you're getting started. It can make things a little bit more confusing than things have to be. But after you feel confident in editing in the edit page, you may find that things are going a bit slow and you want to do things a little bit faster. So first, an overview of the cut page. So this is your media pool, and that's the same in every Davinci page. Then we have our preview window. When we get to it, we'll have our timeline. So this will be the full timeline. I'll explain more later. And this is going to be a workable timeline. So you've got two timelines in this, okay? So let's add our clips. So with my organization, before I even got into this page, I can tell what clip goes where. So we're just going to do a couple drop downs. So this is the start clip. So I'm going to drop that into this timeline. So if you'll notice, you've got a playhead here that can scrub through the footage. And this one is in the middle constantly. It doesn't move. I like it like this So you can actually unlock this one by going over here and just selecting that. And then you can move this playhead around. I think it's easier though if you do lock it. It makes what you're viewing a little bit easier and your brain doesn't get too overwhelmed with what's going on with so many things moving. So just to explain a little bit, wherever this needle is on the video, it's exactly where this needle is. It's just that this one represents your full timeline, whereas this one, it's like a zoomed in version of your timeline. Okay, so we're going to learn a couple new ways to add clips. So instead of just clicking and dragging, we can actually use these tools down here. Okay, so the first tool I'm going to use is I'm going to put the second clip, so I've got it highlighted because it's red, at the end of this clip. So we're going to click the append. So now that has put the second clip at the end of our first clip. So we'll just, I'll even put my head here, and then we'll put the next clip in. We'll put the next clip in and append. So now I've got 3 clips, one after the other. Now I've decided I don't really like that transition there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my playhead around about here. So it's closest to this section, this cross section. And I actually want to put in my soccer shots. So we're going to click on the soccer one. And I'm going to click this button here, and it's called Smart Insert. Now, if you can actually see, there's an arrow here. So Davinci has actually found the best spot to place this clip, which is in between these 2 clips, because our playhead is here. So if I moved my playhead here, now it's going to insert it in between these 2 clips. Okay, so, but I want it in between these 2 clips. So let's go Smart Insert. And now that is inserted between those 2 clips. Now I want soccer 2, and we'll just do the exact same thing. Make sure it's highlighted and insert. And again with our soccer 3 and Smart Insert. Now, as I scrub through my footage, I've decided that this clip just goes a little bit long, like they're just standing in the rain. So making sure my playhead is over the raining one, I'm going to click on Ripple Overwrite. So that's actually put my new clip in my timeline exactly where that raining clip was. Okay, so I press Control Z because I didn't really like that. I might be able to just smarten this clip up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this clip so it's highlighted, and then click on close up. So now that's actually created a clip above my original clip where it just automatically zooms in. And that kind of makes it a little bit more interesting. Then we go to the next clip. I've got my soccer clips in there. I'm going to then click on my 5th clip and then press append. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to place my 6th clip on top of this clip down here, because it's only a short clip. Now, I've actually found a better video, or better looking video, of this rough clip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that, and I'm actually going to press source overwrite. Now my playhead was on top of the clip that I wanted to overwrite, and now I think that looks a lot better. Okay, I'm just going to add the rest of these clips. Okay, so now I've got all my clips in my timeline. So something I did forget to mention, I'd kind of just dive straight into the cutting process. When we did all that organization in the media page, you can actually go up to this little down arrow here and it's sort. So you can actually sort by your clip name or clip color. So you can actually sort by the clip color that we set in the media page. So now all my colors are together. So all the green ones are together, all the yellow ones are together, all the blues, the pinks, and the browns. So this actually works like your normal timeline. So you can actually pick things up, move them to wherever you want them. I'm just going to leave it there. I can actually put that one up there if I want to. So it's really kind of handy when you have a lot of footage to get through. So here we are now in the edit page. So you can actually do some of the same things that you did in the cut page in your edit page as well. So we're just going to run quickly through those. So I've got this clip here. I've highlighted it down here, and I'm just going to click and then drag that onto my preview window. Now we can insert, overwrite, replace, fit to fill, place on top, append at the end, and ripple override, just like what we did in the other cut page. So I'm going to append this at the end. And now it's at the end of our video. So my playhead is over the top of this clip. I'm just going to select the same clip, and then we're going to ripple overwrite, and it's put this clip over that clip. Now, one thing that's different with the edit page to the cut page is if you then press, so I'm just grabbing it again. if you press insert, it's actually going to split the clip in half where the playhead is. So wherever this playhead is, that's where it's going to insert. So let's Control Z, undo that. Move the playhead between these clips and then press insert again, and now it's inserted between those two clips. Now there's a couple other options too. We insert, it's going to insert a longer clip here. Now we've got this shorter clip. I'm going to click and drag that over, and I'm going to say fit to fill. So if you can tell, now Davinci has drawn this clip out to make it more slow motion than these clips were. So it's kind of a cool feature. Another feature is if we have our playhead over this and we go overwrite, it overwrites where our playhead starts. So if we do that again, Control Z, if we actually put our playhead at the start here and click and drag and press overwrite, now it will overwrite the clip entirely. So now we also have some shortcut keys to do those basic things as well. So if we grab another clip, so if we select another clip and press F9, that's going to insert that clip there. We can also press this button as well, insert clip. If we want to overwrite a clip, so if we start the playhead at the start of the clip, we've got our clip here that we want to overwrite, and we press F10 and it will overwrite that clip. Now I don't much like this clip at the end, so we can replace clip. So we can grab this clip and press F11. Now it's replaced that clip. If you notice though, the actual clip is a little bit longer. It actually replaced the clip, but in that length. So there's some things to look out for. So another tool that I didn't touch on in the first video is this trim edit mode. And this just trims the back end of your clips and brings all the other clips with it. So a tool that I didn't really touch on in my previous video is the trim edit tool. So this tool actually trims the end of your clips and then brings everything at the back here with it. So you don't have to have extra time adjusting all these ones as well. So that's this trim edit mode here. So you can click and drag. So we've zoomed in a little bit and we have this clip in the middle. So we learned about transitions in the last video. This is the same as that, but it's quicker and you can only do one type of transition. So this is a quick fade in and quick fade out. So to do this, we have a little white dot up here, and our mouse actually changes. It has 2 arrows. Now if we click and drag, we can go as far as we want. But if we click and drag, we can actually move this little white dot. So if I put it there, now if we play back the video, it actually fades in. And we can do it to this side as well. And we can have it fade out. So that's always a nice transition. So the longer you make this black area, the longer the transition, or the slower it goes. The shorter you make this black area, the shorter the transition. You can even make it look like a blink. So another quick tip is you can actually cut a clip where your playhead is. So I've got my playhead here. If I press Control \, I can actually cut the clip where my playhead is. Another easy way to actually move within your timeline, you can actually press Alt and then press your scroll wheel up and down on your mouse. And I can actually zoom in and zoom out of my timeline quite quickly. So to move around your timeline, like left and right, you can actually then press in your middle mouse button and move your mouse left and right. Another thing that I've had people ask me about is they're constantly losing their playhead. So one quick way of finding where your playhead is, just by looking at your screen, is if you look down here, you can see a red little line. That's where my playhead is. You can also press this and it will take you exactly to where your playhead is. So another feature of the edit page and pretty much all the other pages in Davinci is called the inspector. So if we click on this clip here, so we know it's highlighted because it's red, and then we go up to the top right corner here and we click on inspector. We can actually change the position, zoom in, zoom out. We can actually flip the image so it's upside down or back to front. And we can also do this thing, dynamic zoom. Now I think this, yeah, okay. So this image is still, but it's fast. So what I'm going to do is click on this dynamic zoom. Now we're going to play back. And it actually zooms the clip out for us, which is kind of cool. It just adds an extra element to your footage. So if you want it to go the other way, so if you want it to zoom in, you can click on dynamic zoom and you can just press this swap button. So now it's going to zoom in. So that's dynamic zoom. So say I want this clip to go a little bit faster. I can then scroll down to speed change. Now, if this is not open for you, all you have to do is just click it like we did the dynamic zoom. And we can actually change the speed here. So we can click and move our mouse. Let's go 900. And it's actually changed the duration because our clip, of course, is going to be shorter now that it's sped up. So if we go back and press play, that's very fast now. So now we have this really fast clip, but we have this blank spot here. So if we redo that, so press Control Z, we can actually click on this rippled timeline. And then we can go to 800 again. And it actually moves our timeline with it. So we'll just play. And there you go. Blink of an eye and it's gone. So let's just Control Z and undo that. So there's a couple settings that you can play with in there and have a little bit of fun. Okay, so we've got this clip here and I'm going to put a filter on it. So for all our effects and things, we need to go up here to our effects tab and we're going to go right down to filters. Now making sure that this is selected. So to see a filter before you apply it to your timeline, you can actually open the same clip in your clip preview here. So you can just click on it, click and drag, and it will open up there. You'll know that this one's open when it says its file name up here. And now you can go and look and preview. If they say that, they're not available in the free version. So there's still heaps to choose from. So that radial blur is pretty cool. It kind of focuses you in the middle. We got a zoom blur. Everything's going really fast. So this one looks pretty cool. Light rays. So I'm going to add that to our clip here. So to add it, you just click and then drag it onto the clip that you want. And now your clip has a filter on it. Okay, so before we just learned how to make a clip go faster. What if you want to make your clip go slow and then fast and then slow? So that's called like a speed ramp sort of thing. So it's going to go slow, then fast, and then slow. Okay, so we're going to right click on our clip and then we're going to go up to retime controls. So now you'll notice that we'll have a whole heap of blue arrows running across our clip. So now we're going to move our playhead to where we want to make the change. As I said, we want this to go slow and then fast and then slow. So I want to change it around about here. So now we're going to click on the down arrow and then add a speed point. So now we have a little line marking that there is a speed point there now. So it's kind of cutting our clip without actually cutting it. So now we're going to go to the endish, let's say there, and we're going to click on the black arrow again, and we're going to add another speed point there. All right. So now we have this one to here, and then a middle one, and then here. So this middle one, we're going to make our fast section. So we're going to make this part fast now. So if we go down to this black arrow again, and we're going to change speed, and I'm going to make it 100%. So that is 800% fast now. Now I also want to make these a bit slower. So if we click on the black arrow next to those, change speed, I'm going to go, let's go 50%. And this one here will do 50% as well. So now you will notice that our clip is shorter than it used to be because this is going at 800 times. So let's just play it back. I actually only want to see this window at the moment. So if you just click up this rectangle here, I guess, you can just see your preview window. So now we can press play. That's nice and slow, and then fast, and then slow. So that's how you kind of do a speed ramp within a clip. Normally you don't have audio with your speed clip, but if you did, you can always just blade that, cut it there, and then delete this part. And then they come together. So you can do it the other way around as well. So I'll grab another clip that's quite long. It's easier to show you with the long clip. So same process, right click, retime controls. So I'm going to add the fast one there. So we go to our black arrow, add speed point, and then I'm going to add it again roughly around there. So black arrow, add speed point. Now, instead of making this one fast, we're actually going to slow the middle one down. So before I do anything, I'm going to click this trim edit mode button. And then I'm going to click on the drop down arrow, change speed to 50%. Now, if you'll notice, our clip is a lot longer and it actually pushed these clips over. If we didn't click on this button, this would have just mushed into that, and all our audio clips would be out of whack. So now we can change speed of these to make them a little bit faster. Change speed to 400. And now let's see what that looks like. So now I'm just going to get my selection tool back. Now, if we click on the bottom of these white lines, say I didn't like how quickly this one was, I can actually change the time frame. So if we click on the bottom one and drag it over, I can make the quick one longer than it was, and I can do it the same for this one here as well. So now we have quick and then slow, and I might leave it there. It's dramatic and there. And so it's a cool effect to have in your videos. So if you actually click on the top dot, you can actually see it's changing the speed. See how this is down to 261, so it's not as fast as it was. And that's the same with this top one too. So that'll change the middle speed. So it's down to 49%. So the bottom one does not change your speed. The top one does. So this only just changes the marker where you put it in your clip. In this clip, it's not as noticeable that this is fast and then slow. It still kind of looks pleasing to the eye. But say you had someone like walking in your clip and you could see that it was like a rapid change and it looked bad, you can actually change that. So if you right click on your clip again, you can press retime curve. And now we have a retime frame. What we're going to want to do is click on the down arrow. We don't want the retime frame because we've changed the speed of our clip. We want retime speed. So unclick retime frame and click retime speed. Now, if you bring this down, I'll just bring this up so it's easier for you guys to see. You can see that where our marks are, we have dips in this line. So what we want, instead of this sharp dip, we actually want to click on this dot here, and instead of having this highlighted, we want our curved one. So now it's actually curved and it will be less abrupt when the speed changes. And we can also do that to this dot as well. And we'll change this to curve. So if you're still not happy with that, you can actually grab these dots here and drag them left and right to extend the curve. We'll click on this one again and we'll extend this one. And now it's going to be a lot less abrupt and more fluid. So it just looks a little bit better. So before we end, I wanted to share a little editing video tip that I actually do. So we're just going to go to File, and we're going to go to a new project. And I'm going to call this project Channel Template. And we're going to create. So now if I go back to my media page, what I've learnt to do to make my editing process even faster is actually have a template with things that I always have in my video saved. So like things like your intro and your outro, and maybe, your little subscribe button, that sort of things already in my file, so I don't have to constantly drag them over, put them all into order, and then add all the sound effects and add the music to go along with them. So I'm going to go ahead and add my intro and my end screen. Okay, so now I've got my media in this project. I'm going to start with my intro. So I normally put that around there-ish. No, not even there. Oh yeah, around there. I normally put it around about the 30-second mark because I normally have a little intro and then my intro starts. So what I'm actually going to do as well, as while I've got them both highlighted, I'm going to link them. So wherever this one goes, that one should go. So if I unselect them, click them again, yes, okay, they're both selected and they're linked. So the next thing I normally do is add my end screen, and I normally do it around about the hour mark. So now I've got my end screen set up. Now I'm just going to put this on top, like so. Now I'm going to add my video, my intro video. Now you can see my logo is a little bit off. I'm just going to mute that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it so I can see both and extend this to where my intro ends. So I've extended my end screen to where my intro ends, and I'm just going to put it where, okay. So I need my logo. So I'm going to click on the logo video, and I'm going to click on inspector, and then I'm going to change my X position and just move it over. Go around about there, and I might move it up. Now it's actually where it should be. That's working good. And around about the halfway mark, I normally put my subscribe, and I normally put it above on the second line. And when I made the subscribe, I didn't really put it where I wanted it to be. So I'm just going to change the position and move it down. There we go. You can actually put it in the center as well. You can put it wherever you want it. And so that is now a nice template for future videos. So now you want to save this. So press File, Save Project. So it's going to be saved as channel template. And whenever you want to use this, make sure when you open this, you then go File, Save Project As, and then the name of your video. And then press Save. And now you'll see up the top here the name of your video, and that's the timeline that you're changing. So then you can always just click on that template and then save it as the new video title, and then away you go with all the elements that you normally have in your videos right there, and you don't have to go hunting for them.
Well, I hope today's video was helpful to take your videos to the next level. Please stay tuned for my upcoming videos about fusion, color, and the Firelight pages in Davinci Resolve. Well, I'm Belle, and as always, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video.